Hey, so this is probably a late video, but I gotta make a story time on social media on Roblox because on Royal High, a different game, but the other story time's coming soon. But let's start this. So we got on Enchanted High since a while because we didn't get on there for a while.
And I was in the ice storm and she was in the water dorm. Let's just start off there. So,
because I was blue and I didn't know there was an ice storm, so I decided I was like, oh, I'm gonna be the water dorm, easy peasy.
So I came to my ice storm, and there was only 2 rooms. So basically, there was this. I came in and the witch was right there, and she was like, "Do not come in my room. It's my privacy." I was like, "Okay."
And Laura was telling me about it. I was like, why is there a witch that does not want to come in your room? And she was like, I'm not sure, but she won't let me come in her room. And she was talking to something. We didn't have no idea what it was.
She was like casting spells, and she had a baby in there talking to the baby. She was like,
we didn't know that.
She was like,
she was just
blah,
talking.
blah, 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 like talking. And then I peeked in and I saw her. So
she invited me over side to side. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna be the ice thing.
Being the person that I am.
And then I came in there. She was right at the door. I looked at her. And she was like, oh, hello. She was being all nice. I was like, what's so wrong about that? She's just being a nice person. And then Lauren came up there. She was like, Lauren. And I was like, oh my God, what's happening? She was like, do not go in my room. So Lauren, she went outside on the balcony.
No, being the person that I am, I went out on the balcony to see what she was talking to. She was talking to that baby.
There's a big window right where the balcony is into the room.
And she was like, Lauren, I know you were spying on me. I was like, I don't care. And she was talking to the baby. I ran in there, stole the baby from her.
But before that, I went out on the balcony because she didn't expect it coming from me. So I went out on the balcony. I looked out there. I was like, there's a baby in the crib, and she's talking to it. She's talking to a baby.
And literally, she was like, little baby, come alive. And I was like, did you kill the baby or something?
She was basically casting spells on a dead baby.
So I stole the baby, and I had it for the rest of the time. There was this half demon, half ice.
She tried to cast spells on Lauren that wasn't even real. Well, there was a girl behind us. She was like, oh, eats popcorn. She was like,
yeah, she was like, eats popcorn. But she hated me from the start, and I don't know why.
There was a guy that came in that Lauren had a crush on. And I was like, oh, don't. He's a demon. He looks like a full-on demon. Do not trust him. He's in an ice dorm. He's a full-on demon. He's coming from the dark fairies.
Okay, so yeah. Basically, what happened next is he came in and first he was in my room. And nice. I was like, first he was in my room and I was acting like a spoiled brat. And I was like, come on, get out of my room. This is my room. Like I yelled it and he was like, oh, I didn't know that was your room. And then he went and he was playing on my computer and he shut it down and everything.
But you were flirting with him at the beginning. You were blushes and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, why do you have a crush on this guy? He's a full-on demon, looks like. So, he's coming from the dark dorm.
So basically, he shut down my computer and I was like, bruh. And I yelled at him again and I was like, that's my computer. And he's like, well, maybe show me around next time. And I was like, no.
We should have told him to sleep in the same room with her because she is full-on creepy. And if he was in there, she wouldn't act as full-on creepy with the baby as him being outside of the house.
So then, being the person that I am again.
She allowed him to come in the room with one of her friends. I think her name was Nora.
Nora.
Yeah.
So anyway, that happened. Basically, he was in there talking to her, and I went in there being the person that I am, and I was like, why are you talking to her? She's so rude. She casts spells. She's creepy, and he's like, well, I do too, except I do it all the time, 24/7. And I was like, well, I don't get it. And
he was talking trash and everything. And being the person that I am, of course I had to stick up for her. I was like, don't talk back to my cousin. If you get involved with her, you're gonna get involved with me. If you get involved with me, you're gonna end up getting along with my brother, and it's gonna end up with my whole family. So you definitely don't want to get involved.
So basically, what happened next? It's crazy. This is where it gets crazy. So
Very.
then he gets on my nerves, and so Nora, and the witch were fighting, and
But
he
before
was
that
like,
happened-
go to your,
I was
both of
getting-
you go to your room.
I was getting aggravated, and then I just said, I said, Lauren, I'm gonna give you two options. It's either you're gonna kick this guy out, or I'm gonna go to the dark dorm. She didn't kick him out. I went to the dark dorm, and then that's when the crazy stuff started happening.
So
Where I had to come back.
he was like, Lauren and the witch, go back to your rooms. Let's just say go back to
Acting
your
like a
rooms.
dad.
And I was like, you can't make me go anywhere. I'm staying in here. He goes, nobody has disrespected me for 100 years. I was like, I don't care.
You haven't even been alive for 100 years.
Exactly.
So she told me everything that's happened. So I was like, you better let me in. I'm not switching dorms. I'm coming back to tell him.
Who's the boss?
I'm gonna tell him off. So she let me in. I went upstairs.
No, this
they were
is-
still up there.
we
There
were
was a guy
fighting-
over there.
He said, no, this is before it happened. So this is important. So basically, I was mad at him. Of course, I was screaming and everything at him. And he was like, you don't want to try me. I was like, oh, try me. He's like, you don't want to mess with me. I have the dark side, electrical powers, and ice powers. And I was like, well, I have water, ice, nature, fire, dark, and electric. So beat that. And he's like,
She had dark
he's like-
because I was in the dark.
yeah.
I
And
was
she
in
was
dark, so
like,
it's basically part of me.
she was like, Elena was just like watching this, and then Nora and the ice, which were just like,
I was really confused about what was going on. I was like, what's going on over there? Do I
Yeah.
need to go in?
yeah, and then, so I was like, you can't make me do anything, and no, I'm not fighting with you. And so he was like, well, I'm fighting with you, and he said balls up fist, and I was like, you want to play that game? And then I breaks his neck, and so then he went, and I was like, now, if you excuse me, I'm going back to my room. And he goes, no.
And that's when she invites me over. And then when she comes up, when I was wondering what's going on, I'm like, do I need to come over and do I need to tell him off? So I did. I came over. She let me in.
I gotta tell you. Okay, so he was like, you do not want to fight with me. I was like, I went in my room, just like you said, now get out. And he's like, you do not disrespect me. I was like, and what if I do? What's the consequence? You're dead. You can't kill me. It's a game and there's no swords or anything to kill me.
And then I came in, and I started telling him off. I'm like, you mess with my cousin, you're going to start messing with me.
I was playing on the computers, and I found his secrets, because later, like earlier, he was like, well, I have a secret book, and it has all my secrets in it. I found it, and I wrote them down in the computer. So, basically, he got so mad, and this random ninja dude came up, and he was like, yeet, and tried to throw my the computer. I was like, it's stuck to the freaking desk.
Before that happened, I got to tell the whole entire story, how I told him off. So I started to say, he was like, you don't scare me. You don't want to get me mad. I have the key to every dorm. I'm the king of the dark dorm. I was like, you ain't the king of nothing. He was like, oh, you want to bet? I was like, come on, you're as scary as a puppy in a tutu. And he was like, you're not scary either. And so she was like, you don't mess. I said, what are you going to do? You going to smother me with your baby adult diaper?
No, it wasn't Nora. It was the girl,
The witch girl.
yeah, that witch girl. And she was like turned into demon. She had this Christmas suit on.
I was like, what kind of
And I was
Christmas
like-
suit scares
I was like,
me?
oh, you look so cute.
And then he was trying to scare me. I was like, oh, so cute, so adorable. He was like, oh, so cute, so adorable. I was like, you definitely don't want to try me. And he was like, what you gonna do? I was like, what you gonna do? You smother me with your baby adult diaper?
So I looked in the book, and it said like that he had adult diapers that he still wears. He sucks on pacifiers at night and everything like that. And so I was like laughing at them, and everybody was like, "Stop it! Stop it!" I even found a picture of him and his girlfriend kissing. Like,
but like he was really mad. He got his girlfriend in it. He's like, he was getting her to back her up and everything. I was like, oh, you can't handle it yourself. You gotta have somebody back you up. And he got really mad, and I was like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Because I'm being the person that I am, sticking up for her. And she was just like backing me up. I was like, yes, yes, yes. So they got extremely mad. And he was like, you don't want to get me mad. And then she comes right in front of me. She's like, you don't want to get him mad. I was like, what's he gonna do? And I was like, and she said, oh, you don't know what he's gonna do. And I said, he ain't gonna do nothing. It's an internet game. And, he just can't do nothing about it. She's like, yes, he can. He can do whatever he wants
and
about
she was
it.
like, oh, is he gonna smother me in adult baby diapers?
Literally, he was the scariest puppy in a tutu. That's all I had to say. So, I was just being the person that I am. So he went downstairs. This is where this guy comes in. He was on the computer. He was really quiet while we were doing all this. And then he was like, slam the computer. He was like trying to throw it.
He was like, yeets the computer.
But I can't. But you literally, it's a video game. You can't move the computer. It's a part of a game. You can't move it. You can't crash it. You can't break it. You can't do anything.
I was
with
like,
it.
oh, he said his first cuss word.
And then he came up on the desk, and I was like, oh, so scary. He scares me so bad.
I was like, oh, look, he's so cute. He's trying to kick my head off.
I
And he
was
went,
like, he was like, oh, you trying to kick her with your chicken feet?
and he made like this chicken face. It was hilarious. It literally looked like a chicken face, and he didn't know it.
So after that all happened, they went out downstairs and literally disappeared. We couldn't even find them. So we disconnected from the game, and then we had to get back on. We didn't get on the same server. Well, before that happened, we went under the mermaid pool where the guy who tried to smash the computer was at.
And Nora.
So we asked him.
And Nora.
Yeah, and Nora. And we asked him, was like, where are those two peeps at? And he was like, in the nature dorm by the trees.
No.
So
No. He was like, I don't know. And then we found this girl named like Journey or something. And we were like, where are they at? And like, she was like, who? I was like, King Alex. She's like, oh, by the nature dorms where the trees are at. There was no nature dorm with trees beside of it. Like,
we were looking hard until me being stupid, I looked in the trees right next to the nature dorm. And I was like, they're not in the trees anywhere. And Lauren was like, it's in the nature dorm. I was like, oh, how stupid. So we got disconnected from the game, and then we got back on, and it wasn't the same game. It wasn't the same server. But we looked anyway, and we were like, we can't find them. So at LEDs, we ended up couldn't find them.
They
disappeared from our range of sight.
It's literally, we've been up since, focus.
We've been up all day, pretty much.
We've been up, and it's 6:19 in the morning.
But, we're still posting this. We have another story time coming soon about Bloxburg and how she had literal maniac parents.
Yeah, and how they hated her but loved me.
Gave me absolutely no attention.
And then I was like their only attention. Then I got mad because we had a sister that...
Just come back for the
yeah, you'll see.
story time.
Bye,
Bye, guys.
What?